Hello, Mandira. You've been working with the Advocacy Forum in Nepal for many years in the attempt to support victims of torture. Can you explain about that work?
It's been actually 8 years. We started this Advocacy Forum with the objective of promoting rule of law and human rights in Nepal. And we think lack of justice for the victims of human rights violations, impunity, ongoing cases of torture in detention, cases of human rights violations, being a sort of major challenge in achieving human rights and rule of law in the country. So we focus more on how to tackle the culture of impunity that we have in Nepal. We do monitoring of police detention centers because that's the place where torture often takes place. So we document cases of human rights violations. We focus more on cases of disappearances, torture, extrajudicial execution, sexual abuse of women. We have been also monitoring the use of children by the armed forces as well, because children are often abducted and recruited in different non-state actors, different armed groups. We provide legal aid for the victims of human rights violations. Often victims cannot really think of challenging the state, so we provide legal aid, free legal aid for them. And also on behalf of them, we also bring complaints where victims feel insecure of bringing the complaints in their own name or them being exposed. We take cases on behalf of them. We, with the change context, we have been also focusing on promoting the comprehensive transitional justice mechanisms in the country. So that could help us to deal with our past.
Nepal went through a period of conflict in the last few years. How, in what way does that present challenges for human rights work? What are the main issues?
Main issues are still ongoing cases of human rights violations, lack of justice for the victims, impunity for the perpetrators. We have documented hundreds of cases of extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, sexual abuse of women, and torture in detention. Not only us, there are other organizations like National Human Rights Commission has been doing the same thing. But we haven't been able to bring even a single perpetrator to justice, despite the fact that all the evidences have been established, because the justice system that we have really provides that it's the police who should be doing the investigation in these sort of cases. Our investigation is not really, taken by the court. We are not the authorized kind of institutions to do the investigation. So it's supposed to be the police doing the criminal investigation, and police doesn't do the investigation. Law says that if they get any information on any crimes, they have to start the investigation on those crimes. But we have brought a number of complaints on behalf of the victims. We have filed first information report to the police demanding criminal investigations on the cases, along with the evidences that we have collected from our own investigations. But the police has completely failed to do investigation. And first challenge that we have is that they even deny to register the complaint, forget about the investigation. And then we have gone to the Supreme Court number of times challenging this denial of registering the complaints by the police. We have got the decision of the court that police has to do the investigation. Supreme Court has asked a number of police officers to do it because it's a basic duty of the police. Despite this decision of the court, police continuously fail to do any investigation. Similarly, in some cases, we have been able to mobilize the pressure both nationally and internationally. So, for example, one case has reached to the court, and there is this court order, the arrest warrant against the perpetrators, but these perpetrators have not been arrested. These perpetrators still work in high-ranking military post in the military headquarters. So this complete impunity for the perpetrators and lack of justice for the victims are the major challenge. In addition to that, the threats to human rights defenders and the victims, their families, is another challenge. Because human rights defenders, those who are working in bringing cases on behalf of the victims against the perpetrators, continuously face challenges not only by government, the militaries or the security forces, but also by the other political parties.